Today we have a comparison, native ads versus Google search ads. In this video we will have a comparison of two real marketing beasts. At the one hand side we have native ads with traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, Yahoo Gemini and many more. So native ads is a general term. And on the other hand side we have Google search ads. And in this video I will show you the differences and of course also the benefits or disadvantages of every traffic platform in a very surface view. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of Purple Black, a native advertising only agency. So what we're doing on a daily basis is we run performance marketing campaigns on native advertising platforms like Taboola, Outbrain, Yahoo Gemini and many more. And a very common question is, what's the difference between Google ads in general and native ads with Taboola, Outbrain and co? And first of all, when we're talking about Google, it's super important to differentiate here a little bit, because Google don't just have one product. It's not just a big traffic source where you type in one keyword or a long-term keyword and you will have a lot of results. No, you have a lot of different products in the Google product palette here. So you have, for example, Google search ads, which is very common and obvious and which we're talking to today in this video. But you also have Google display ads. So display ads are the banners on the sides or on the top and bottom of a website. By the way, if you want to have or see a comparison between native ads and Google display ads, check out the video here on YouTube, because I've already created one in the past. And there is, for example, also YouTube with YouTube ads. So I'm pretty sure you're watching this video currently on YouTube, and YouTube is also part of Google. And of course, you can advertise or run ads also here on YouTube. So you see, the product source or the ways which products you can choose at Google are very huge, but today we are really just talking about Google search ads. So you open google.com and type in a search or a keyword, what you're searching for, and click enter and have a lot of results. And of course, some of the results are paid. They're marked usually with advertisement, and some of them are organically because of search engine optimization and some other white and black hat stuff in the background. Before we start with the real deep dive here into the topic, I want to clarify that I'm a huge fan of native ads, but I think it's a very good addition. So it makes sense to run native ads and also additionally Google search ads. And in this video, I will also show you why it makes sense. So let's start with Google search ads. I think we all know it, and many of us use the Google search ad multiple times a day. You open your web browser and type in a keyword into the search engine. This could be, just name it your keyword, and then you will receive a lot of different results. So the big benefit here is that you know what you're searching for, you type it into the search engine, and the search engine will show you what you're searching for, because you will receive a lot of results, and then you can choose which offer or which website you like the most. So it's very simple, very common, and we all know how it's working. On the other hand side, you have a disadvantage, and the disadvantage is it's pull marketing. So that means you have to wait until someone types in the keyword what you're bidding for, especially when you run Google ads. So that means you cannot bid for a very niche keyword. It's usually impossible to spend 10K per day because there is not so many people who are searching for that term. And you see, here is the main issue. In a small range or on a small ad budget, it makes absolutely sense to run Google search ads. But when it comes to scaling, it's very hard to scale, because of course you can use different keywords, you can use other keywords. But usually the broader you get, the less conversions you will have, because just with a very narrowed down audience or keywords, you will have very fast clickers and very fast conversions, because people know exactly what they're searching for and they're just searching for the best offer now. They're not in decision mode where to, is it a good fit or not to buy this product. They usually just want to see the best offer and buy it directly. So that's the big advantage, but also a big disadvantage of Google search ads, because you're not able to scale it here more or less to the moon. But just to clarify it, if someone is searching exactly your product with the keyword additionally, so your product plus buy or your product plus discount or offer, they are very likely to buy. So they're just waiting more or less for the best offer to grab, then they will buy it directly. And now let's make a switch to native ads. So when we talk from a funnel perspective, we are here at Google search ads very on the bottom of the funnel, where more or less the final steps are before someone will buy the product. So maybe the person is looking for some reviews, maybe the person is looking for some best offers, or maybe the person just wants to ensure that it's not a scam or something like that. But this person don't think about should I buy it. Usually they just think in this kind of step or in this kind of funnel step, where should I buy it, and should I buy it now or should I buy it later? So those are more the thoughts here in this situation, and not should I buy it. So the people usually know they have a problem and know that this product might help to solve this issue. On the other hand side, you have native ads, and native ads is a push channel. That means nobody really cares about what they're searching for, they just will receive the ads. And native ads is a very hard classic push channel, because Facebook ads, for example, or YouTube ads is usually also a push channel, but it's interest-based targeting. So that means you can target people on Facebook or Instagram due to their behavior or their interests on the internet. That means you can target usually, for example, pet owners, or you can target women between 30 and 45 which might have one or more children. So you can add stuff like that, and also add some hobbies like expensive business travel, good hotels, foodie, and that kind of stuff. So it's not completely broad. On native, you have no real working interest-based targeting. That means you have a very, very broad audience, and it's very top of the funnel. So when this is our funnel again, we are here. People are coming here into the funnel thanks to native advertising. And why it's completely top of the funnel? Because usually people don't know anything about your company, they don't know anything about the product, they don't know anything about you, or usually they don't know that they have a problem. And it's your job here as a good native advertiser to show them the problem. It's impossible, or it's very hard, I think, to create an issue or create a problem, but it's your job to make the problem which they might have visible, and put a magnifying glass on it that they see, okay, it's a very big issue and I have to take care about this issue now to solve it. And hey, luckily I read in an editorial that there's a product which might help me to solve my problem. And of course, at the end of the day, we want that someone is buying the product, and usually those funnel steps are made just within a few clicks in a native advertising funnel, which usually is an ad in the very beginning at the bottom of news pages. Then you have an editorial where people get all information about the product, where they decide more or less if it is useful or not. And you see here, copywriting is key, because when your editorial is well written, then the chances are way higher that someone will purchase this product or make a lead or something like that, instead of a very shitty editorial. So editorial here in copywriting for the editorial is key to convince people. And then you have the offer page. So that could be, for example, a Shopify page, a checkout page, or whatever you have in mind. But that's usually the usual step or the usual funnel of a native advertising campaign. And as mentioned before, in a best case scenario, this is working just here within a few clicks. So we're not talking about 100 retargeting options or something like that. We want to convince people just within a few clicks from a completely cold audience to someone who buys your product now. And you see here, it's way more complicated than just Google Ads. Of course, there are different levels of Google Ads. I know people who are mastering Google Ads, and it's way more complicated than it might be visible on the surface. But in general, for let's say 70% of Google Ads, you just can open your laptop, open some YouTube videos to see how it's working, type in some keywords, save your credit card, and Google will do the rest, because Google have a very smart algorithm. They know exactly how to spend your money, but also they're usually delivering results so that you're happy. And it's very easy, what I want to say. You can do it you can do it by yourself, but you can also hire an agency, and it's way easier to set up a funnel like that, because people already know that they have a problem, people already know that there is a solution for the problem, and they just want to solve it. On native ads, it's way more complicated. That's also one reason why native ads is one of the most expensive channels to start. So if you compare, for example, Google search ads, just as an agency service, Google search ads in comparison with native ads. Native ads are one of the most expensive channels to start. Because on Google ads, and Google guys, don't get me wrong, please don't kill me for that, but usually you have to search the keywords, you have to check, of course, that the funnel and the pages are fine, but then go for it. On native, you usually have to build everything. So you have to build the approaches, you have to build the editorials, you have to test out different offer pages. And due to no algorithm, you also have to ensure that the technical infrastructure is fine, because you need a tracker, you need some other things to ensure to receive and gather the correct data here. So it's way more complex and complicated. It's way more expensive in the beginning. And maybe you think, okay, why should I start with native ads? And now it's the big benefit of native ads. Native ads is a push channel, as mentioned before. And it's more or less, it's not completely unlimited scalable, but it's scalable on a very high level. So what I mean by that is you can scale one product on native advertising traffic sources with Taboola and Outbrain and co. You can scale one product in one country with a daily ad budget from 50, 60K per day, easy, without any issues. So what I mean by that is you can spend, if you have one product and different countries, for example, you can spend easily 100, 200Ks per day profitable with native ads. And I'm pretty sure that's very hard with some other online marketing traffic channels if you're not compared now with, let's say, some TV ads or something like that. And we're always talking about performance ads. That means you have to spend less than your turnover is. So it should be profitable. And that's the big power of native. That's the one benefit. It's scalable, it's very high scalable, way more than, for example, just Google search ads, because you're not limited to the keywords people are searching for the product or service. And usually it's cheaper because it's a push channel and you can convince a lot of people which are cold. So that means usually when you have an optimized funnel, it's cheaper than Google search ads or than any other advertising method, because usually you have different touch points, multiple touch points with, let's say, to stay in the Google universe, you have a YouTube ad, you have some display ads as retargeting, and you have search ads. So, and that's the reason why usually native ads is way cheaper, because we're trying to convince a completely cold audience just within a few clicks to make the purchase and to get the deal done. And as mentioned in the video, I don't think that this versus this makes a lot of sense, because we see it on a lot of clients out there. It makes sense if you add Google ads or Google search ads for native ads. So what I mean by that is usually you have a lot of reach for native ads. So a lot of people will see your ad, they will see the advertorial, your brand awareness will explode in a positive way. So that means also that the search queries on Google for your brand, for example, or for your product will also grow. And yes, it makes sense when these ads are paid ads here on Google. So usually we have here a hand-in-hand process, because, as mentioned before, the ideal way of native ads is to convince a person just within a few clicks. But sometimes they're just waiting for the bus, or they're in metro, don't have time anymore. They screenshot it on their smartphone, and when they're at home, they're searching for the brand on Google, and then they will make the purchase. So officially, it's a conversion which you have to count on Google side, but the initial way was a native. So what I want to say here is, it makes sense when you start with native ads also to spend a few bucks daily on Google ads, just for a little bit brand awareness, just for brand ads, just for your product names and stuff like that. Because when you run native ads on a long-term basis, you will see that the search volume for your brand and product will grow very fast. This was a quick comparison with Google search ads versus native ads. I hope you liked the video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course, when you subscribe to my channel to get updates when I upload a new video here on YouTube about nothing but native. Have a good one. See you next time.